Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for X support, any kind of updates and the such. I usually go about on Twitter X. I didn't do anything on Saturday. I was out all day, so didn't add any time to do any kind of video regarding gaming news. But I did manage on a Friday launch Far Lone Sales demo gameplay. Very interesting game. I think it's a shorter game, and I think it's still on a deal. I'm not sure, but yeah, it was very interesting. And today, later, I will be publishing another episode of Jusant, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And as always, I got 4K complete gameplay series, which are the most recent ones, and the older ones are still in 1080p. Yeah, let's get to it. Not much happening. It's Monday. Usually, it's a quiet day. And similarly, we have probably some news regarding Intel discrete GPU stuff there. There was spotted somewhere in manifesto cargo shippings or whatever it is that probably we might have something regarding what it might seem a professional GPU from the Battlemage lineup, given that we only had, if not mistaken, two GPUs, which is the B580 and B570, kind of entry level GPUs. They are relatively cheap. They seem to be decent. But yeah, it all depends on the price there. There is no definitive news regarding if they are going to prioritize in any way the discrete GPU stuff for the Celestial lineup or generation of GPUs. But yeah, we got the thing here that it might induce us most likely on professional GPU stuff. I will have to assume that for now, given that all the shakeups on Intel and how they cancel a lot of stuff and delay other stuff there, and they are basically restarting with the CPU stuff again and shifting a little bit more on the AI side of things in terms of their hardware and software, I assume that for the moment we're not going to have any kind of Battlemage discrete GPUs for DIY markets. I will assume this is going to be a professional GPU. Try to compete a little bit on having, I assume, given the chips performance on the entry level kind of AI workload, LLM kind of thing there. But yeah. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how this new CEO from Intel will really try to leverage what Intel has to offer, especially on the CPU side of things. Probably they will work a little bit more to be more competitive on the APU side for handhelds, even laptop stuff there, and maybe with that they can leverage also a little bit the technology that they have from what they call the tile stuff for the GPU side of things on the APU side that might be scaled up for discrete GPUs. But yeah, we'll have to wait. There is no confirmation. Again, this is like a shipping manifest. It also mentioned this is R&D purposes, so we don't know for sure. But at least something good. That there is some movement still on the GPU side of things. Again, competition is always good in any kind of market. Hopefully, by the end of the year, we have some kind of announcement or plan layout for Intel because they also have their foundry services that supposedly are the 18A process node, which I think is 3 and 2 nanometers, something like that. Again, we'll have to wait and see if they are going to rise up from the tumbles that they got from these last couple of years. But I think there is also some stuff regarding the new CPU stuff. I think they're going to have a new socket. But again, I will have to check better that information. But it seems that they are going to announce this. I think it's Panther Lake or whatever it is. Again, the naming schemes always confuses me. But supposedly the new new CPU they are going to launch is a completely new different socket. So new motherboards and all that jazz, which is not good. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this will go. In terms of games, got a little bit more info regarding Horizon clone. A lot of people are saying, which is like a Motiram. Again, what they usually distinguish themselves from the Horizon games, given that in terms of the art style, it's very heavy influences there with the retro futuristic thing there from the main character and also the robots, which have some similarities in terms of the not the design but the aesthetics of the game. um, Again, Horizon games are usually kind of an action game with some light RPG elements, from what I understand, while Moritan is basically a survival game when you have to establish a base and defend it. And again, the these mechanical animals or whatever they are called, they will have some play there in this new game, which it's like helpers to help you out on defeating waves of enemies. I don't know, given that you have a base that you have to defend it and manage the resources there for, I will assume, upgrade and all that jazz. Yeah, got a trailer here, very interesting. Again, usually survival, this kind of survival games, usually it's not very, they are not meant for me. I really usually don't buy these or play these games. But yeah, supposedly it will launch 2025 on PC, PlayStation, iOS, Android. Again, as a free-to-play game. Then you got also this caveat, given that it is a free-to-play. Uh, I will assume in all of the sorry, in all of the uh, PC, PlayStation, all the platforms. Sorry, that's the word that I was looking for. I'm assuming that it's a free to play on all platforms, so got that caveat that usually will have some microtransactions involved there. I will assume on, I don't know, on the building side of things, if you want to reduce the building time or upgrading time, you have to pay with microtransactions, resources. I think there is some things that might happen there. But yeah, that's why usually this kind of games, especially when they are free to play, I usually keep my hands off because, again, just offer me a full experience and let me enjoy the game with that instead of trying to pull me in with the microtransactions on the games that you are launching. In terms of supposedly PC requirements, again, the recommended specs here, they seem pretty tame. Again, given that it is also on mobile platforms, I guess this game is not going to be very heavy on the graphics side. So I think even a lower tier rig might be able to handle this game with no problem. And even in terms of available space, so 30 gigs, it's a very small space that is going to occupy. Again, I will assume most of it, it's textures and everything that is going to be for the PlayStation and PC platforms there. But yeah, interesting game. Let's see how well it goes. Again, I just hope these games could launch like a full experience. Just put it a full price, launch a good game, and I think you will have more an audience there because people are getting a little bit tired and exhausted of free to play experience because they already know there is the pitfall of the microtransactions. And then you got an interview somewhere in Games Radar, I think, from Fatal Blade Zero. And again, they reiterate that this is not going to be a Souls like. It's very action heavy, kind of more similar to Devil May Cry action, even though there is a lot of tactics and strategy involved. And they really did reinforce that they are very influenced by From Software, but I think it's more in the sense of the level design, the way they're going about it. Everything is kind of interconnected. You have to explore to find those little secrets and stuff that is going to be on the level there. And I think also on the fact that you have to strategize the combat there. So which enemies you should tackle first. Maybe you can drop down a few of them by using a little bit of light stealth, which I think there is in this game. I think you can stealth a little bit around the game level. And then in terms of action, it's very much influenced in terms of action on Devil May Cry kind of a games there. But yeah, this game seems pretty good. Very dark in the atmosphere they're trying to go about it. And to a certain extent, they also have some influence for cinema. I think there is going to be a fair amount of cutscenes. Um, they try to be inspired by wuxia and kind of kung fu movies from Bruce Lee to early 2000s. They say it's going to be a little bit of a mix here. I just hope that the mix is going to be or good enough to deliver us a good experience. And I think it will do so. From the especially from the boss battles videos that we already they already showed, it seems very interesting. um, we have to wait for the full experience. Supposedly, the full experience will take around 50 hours or so. I just hope also that the story is pretty good, given that suppose you have 60 days or something like that until your character dies. I don't know how that will be influenced on the way you play it. But yeah, they are keeping this game and trying to keep it relevant still. Again, I really don't know when it's going to launch. I think it's this year or no, they already delayed fall 2026. So we have a year and a half, give or take, until this game comes out. I'm expecting between now and the supposedly launch date, we'll have a little bit more in depth in terms of what this game has to offer. But yeah, it's always good to see that they are still cooking on this game. And yeah, we'll have to wait for more news there. And then lastly, I think there was Star Wars Celebration again. I don't watch these kind of things there, but there was some. I don't know if it was leak or early announcement of new Star Wars games, but it's kind of a XCOM kind of a game there, which interested me because it's more about a turn-based combat game. There was the trailer. I watched the trailer again. A lot of uh, cutscenes in terms of movies, but there was the last 5 to 10 seconds or so with some, I will assume, gameplay um, footage there, which seemed interesting. We got the usual stuff here. You are the leader of a specialized unit. It takes place, I think, in the Clone Wars, which I think can be. Again, in terms of the lore itself, hopefully it can fit right in, given that it's Clone Wars. Again, it's huge amounts of war in guerrilla happening in a lot of planets. I don't know how they will take advantage of it in terms of different scenarios that you can explore in other missions that you have to go. And we got a kind of a good look of the type of classes that we might expect. I think we have Detroit, which serves a little bit of support. Then we got kind of the bounty hunter class, got the clone trooper class. We also have a Jedi, interesting enough. And we got, I think this is kind of a sniper class thing here. Again, very interesting. Again, not much to go through, but at least we have something here. Again, I just hope this is a good game. I kind of enjoy a little bit of Star Wars here and there. In terms of graphics, seems good enough from what I watched from the trailer. We got here um, the way they go about in terms of using abilities and the such. Again, I assume this is not the full HUD experience here, but again, you might have a sense of what you're trying to achieve here with this radial menu, which is something that it's accessible here. We got this Jedi class here. I don't know how this will work, but on the trailer, he pushes people, and I think he also parries blaster stuff there. Then we got I think this is the bounty hunter class here that might be more AoE damage kind of a thing here. But yeah, it's the usual stuff from Star Wars. I just hope that they can leverage the Star Wars universe have to offer and integrate it on the turn-based kind of a XCOM kind of a game. Uh, and also with that, there's going to be kind of a home base, from what I understand, where you can upgrade and do all the resource and research management there. This is coming from Beat Reactor, which is part of Respawn Entertainment. But yeah, other than that, supposedly will come next year. Again, I'm not keeping my hopes too high, given that some of the fumbles in terms of Star Wars games, the better ones that I think are the better ones are the Star Wars Jedi series, the Fallen Order and Survivor, even though they have their own issues, but they are the better ones there. The last one that we had came from Ubisoft Star Wars Outlaws, which is a debacle of a game. But yeah, hopefully this one, given that it's not focused on a character that they can, I don't know, try to invent new stuff there. Given that this is a squad and that usually this kind of turn-based combat usually tends not to focus specifically on the character and try to highlight that character, and it's more focused on the strategy and the tactical layer of how you proceed throughout the game. Hopefully, this will be a better game, for, at least from Star Wars. And as usual, everybody with these big IPs, uh, again, they keep hope that this new project, given that it's a game, a movie, or series, is the one that is going to start to turn around and be a little bit better than what we've been seeing from the last 5 to 10 years. Yeah, but yeah, I will try to keep my eyes and tabs on this game to see how well or not is going to continue to develop. But yeah, this is what I got for today. Just going to wrap up with some gaming deals. We still have Children Morta 80% off. The complete edition seems to be the better option here, and it's 75% off. We got Dredge. Again, it's one of those games that I really want to play. It's 50% off at this moment in time. We got Journey. Again, I do recommend this game. I played it a long time ago on console, I think on the PS3. Yeah, it's a very excellent experience here, and it's 67% off. We got Jusant. Again, this is the ongoing series that I'm publishing at the moment, and I already recorded all the episodes, and I do recommend this game. And it's 55% off. If you're curious about this game, again, just check the first couple of episodes to have an idea what this game is about. But yeah, it's a very interesting and a good experience. We got also Lords of Fallen version 2.0. From what I understand, this is kind of a huge revamp of the game systems and polishing on the combat and everything else. They did a huge revamp here. And then we got now the fact that you can play for free with a friend. At least from what I understand, if you install this part here for free, you can do the customization and play the tutorial part of the game. And then you can join in co-op with a friend that has already the full game. And then I think this is serves to entice people to buy the game, the full game. Basically, this will serve as kind of a demo here, but with access of having access to parts of the full game while you play in co-op with another person. I think it's a very interesting way of trying to sell the game to people here. But yeah, the again, since this came out, this 2.0 version, people are claiming that it's a huge improvement, and the fact that they've been listening to player feedback regarding the issues that the game had. Then you got Nobody Wants to Die, kind of a detective game, first person perspective, if not mistaken. It tweaks a little bit with memories, the way you have to detective your way through the cases there. Unreal Engine 5 game, if not mistaken. And yeah, 40% off and very positive feedback from everybody. Then we got Planet of Lana. Again, I wrap up this gaming series. I do recommend this game, especially at this price point, which is 55% off. If you're not sure if you will like this game, just check the first episode. I think it will give you a good sense of what this game is about. Then you got Prey, again, another game that I already did a gaming series of. I didn't manage at the time to claim this game for free from Epic Game Store long time ago, and I eventually did a gaming series on this one. Again, very underrated game. I really do like this game, especially the base game itself. I think it's an excellent experience, especially at this price point, 90% off. And again, if you're hesitant, just check the first episode of my gaming series to have a better idea what this game is all about. Then you got Slay the Spire, 66% off. Again, I put out at least a few hours on this game. Again, deck builder, roguelike, ladder kind of a thing here. Again, excellent game. If you like deck builders, again, this is one of those games that you must play. And then last we got Stray. You play as a cat. What else can I say? And it's 40% off. Again, overwhelming positive feedback from everybody that played this game. But yeah, this is what I got for today. So I'll wrap up here with a plug on my Patreon for extra support. The extra support is in line more for me to try and get a better storage solution, so I can have backups of stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a full day. And I'll see you on the next one. So until then, Kunami Master out.